Hi guys, it's May. So it's a new contest starting for the entire month for everybody who comes to Facebook, joins, follows me, shares, comments, interacts, as well as on YouTube. It's counting each time you do it as one entry. So I'm going to give at the end of the month 3 20-minute readings. For those of you who want to know if you won, check the Facebook. I have announced 3 winners today for the month of April, pardon me. Okay, so let's start with the X spread. Hi guys, here is my X spread, and for those of you who know the significators, please look at the timestamp and you can just really go right into the reading. For those who are the first ones here or who still want to understand how am I making this actually work, just listen the explanation, and here it is. I have created a spread. It is known Cat Tarot Knows X spread, but it's also applicable for on and off relationships, and even to kind of like figure out the feelings and intricacies of your relationship. Why? Because I have actually used 7 categories, and 7, right? It's a kind of like really magic spiritual number, and also the entire spread numerologically adds up to 3. 3 is like that card of union of Trinity, so it is something that can kind of like raise from the ashes, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what can work, what cannot work. As I say in my private readings, you have to understand that not all relationships are meant to be. Like when you get together with someone, everything is really nice in the beginning. We want to charm, we want to be our best, but sort of like that enthusiasm maybe kind of like falls off with time. People get sidetracked, people meet other people. So one category here that I'm exploring, the very first one, is the Magician. So in tarot, Magician is a number 1. So of course it means, is this a go? Can this relationship ever be a starter? So what is Magician doing? Magician is somebody who comes to work and he goes, okay, let me crack my fingers and I'm going to start working. What do I need to do today? Wow. And there is a task, it's a little project list, and then he starts to manifest. So it's a start before the start. So what does he want to manifest? Look at the difference. He kind of like wants to use all the available tools, right? You see all of these tools here are now floating. They're activated. So I really want to see what is in this category. This category is going to tell me if you guys had all the ingredients to make a relationship. What in this category you have? Love, devotion, family, kind of like sharing. Then I say, yeah, like really good ground. Like there is like a great foundation for this. But what if you have, let's say, love and then lack of reputation or lack of family or jealousy? Then obviously, that's going to have issues. Sometimes it's just like downward negative. So the things that are supposed to help you are just basically things that are tearing you apart. And sometimes you have all but one element, and that one element seems to be important. It is like having 4 tires for a car and have an engine and have windshield and have all the other windows. Name it, rename it, and the key is there. And you start with a key, you try to crack it, and you realize, whoa, I don't have a gas. So you're not going anywhere with there. So this is why sometimes we feel that the one night stand was like more promising than it was, and it wasn't. It actually haven't ever been there. Maybe at the time and place it seemed kind of important, and it hasn't been important in a global kind of like scheme of things. And we as women, especially women, and even some more romantic men, and I would tend to think that these are the men who are actually coming to these tarot sessions with me. They're like lesser percentage, but there's still 25% of men over here. And I think these are quality men, and I wish that they actually speak up a little bit more, because people who connect with tarot really want to find out the real answers, and they really want to be in touch, or not only with the others but with themselves. So this is the category number 1. Category number 2, I picked this angel. I think it's Michael, who is trying to, I think, in biblical terms, merge wine and water. Well, that's not a really big deal. But here in tarot, it's basically talking about trying to merge two different things. So, of course, in a relationship, there are two different people. And even if you get along, you still have your own intricacies that might not really fit properly, right? So, what's basically happening here is, okay, let's put this together. Let's create this passion. Let's create this growth. Let's create this like solid emotions that we can kind of like step in. However, I'm asking for this card to be reversed. Why? In this category, I want to find out what doesn't work. What kind of like has to be fixed in order for things to kind of really work out. You see, in this after tarot, this angel is kind of manifesting. You see, one is connecting with emotions, another one is connecting with the sky. So literally you're getting, I mean, I love you as the sky is high and I love you as the sea is deep. Kind of like everything, kind of universal. And it's like still this like beaming with reaction. So what basically we're going to find out here is like if things that you have to build are sort of unbridgeable, if they can be built. So then I'm taking Queen of Wands, forget the horoscope associations. Of course, when I do Golden Dawn readings, I have to take everything in account. But even at that point, I'm just trying to see more or less personalities. But here I'm looking at how we really want to be seen in a relationship. So that's a significator for one party, generally for ladies. And if there are two ladies, then I put two Queen of Wands. If there are two guys, I put two King of Wands. So don't get all upset that this kind of represents fire signs, because when we start dating, we are all fire. We all start with fire, right? And it's kind of like fun, it's passionate, we are outgoing, we are playful, we are going out. Even if you're a homebody, you will go out. Even if you're a recluse, you will go out. Even if, you know, you generally are not very sexual, you'll still have sex. So this is talking about being a little bit different. This is our dating selves, right? So you see here, she has this like beautiful flower, right? And the kitty cat that is right now connecting to her. See, it's kind of like, okay, where do I move from here? Am I kind of staying in my element or not? So here is my communication card. I'm trying to figure out, so in this category here, pardon me, with Queen of Wands, I really want to see what your partner, how did your partner perceive you? So, right, like, I mean, you know that people are generally not really straightforward, and you can go as far as that they're not being honest. So they don't really tell you. They kind of tell you sort of medicated version or kind of sedated version of what they think. And kind of like they don't express generally things that they don't like. So you really don't know what the real opinion is. You just know what you heard. So this is basically telling us what your partner saw in you or how he saw you reacted. So kind of like get this perception they had from their side. Here with 8 of Wands, this is my communication card. With this card, I actually really want to see the intricacies of energies. So this can mean how did you communicate? This can mean how basically, how well do you mesh, right? So in this kind of like position here is showing, okay, are you firing back? Because these wands are falling back, the communication is coming your way. Are you communicating right back? And is this effective communication? So now this is a second significator, right? And this is also same thing. I picked the fire sign, basically significator, because the other person also wants to be seen as cool. This guy wants to be seen, oh my gosh, I'm so charismatic. She kind of like likes me, and you know, I am her king. And kind of like they want to feel this way. You see, kind of like he here has the little salamander, kind of just making his little first step, and here he's holding the salamander basically in his palm. Salamanders basically signify fire. Interestingly enough, even though they kind of reside in the rain, long time ago, in like 13th, 14th centuries, when they were creating these cards, they just saw salamanders jumping out from the fireplaces because they were kind of like be around there, and they thought they were fire animals, and that's how they were actually connected in tarot to fire. So And then I took judgment. And judgment is literally for me to feel out how karmically you basically are reacting. Because I also do karma readings. And in karma readings, I can totally see if people are repeating certain patterns, if they're bringing them from the past lives, and that's my past life reading. And it's kind of like it's easier to understand what's happening. But in this reading, I cannot go in 20, 30, 40 minutes of that. So I'm just trying to get at least an overview. So judgment card is talking about a situation that has been evolving. And maybe it's even dead, but it's come back to be alive just for rendering this opinion. So this is more or less a cosmic judgment, a karma card, right? So here are the two phases of that, right? Here it is like, we are here. What? Have it been good or not good? Is it make it or break it time? And here it is, okay, some of you are just going to be dead, right? So your relationship shouldn't go forward, or it should go forward. And this is what karma is saying, right? So I know that we all want relationships, but sometimes it's also good to get closure. And lastly, I'm picking this card, Four of Wands, because this is that celebration card, moving to the next stage. Four corners being solidified. So now, some people say this is a marriage. It just means the next step. It could be reunion, it could be reconciliation, it could be just quality of your relationship. It's not lived happily ever after. Yeah, some of us have been brainwashed with that. You know, it should be called what it is, crap. And please, mothers, don't read these like bad stories to your kids, because if you look how those stories were in their original form, they were not kind or nice at all. So this is just basically saying, are you going to go to the next stage with this person? Because marriage, after all, is just the next stage. There are many marriages that are not working out because you're just starting to build from the scratch. So when I say sometimes in my readings, well, this one phase has to end, another one has to start. So this could mean you're going from dating to steady, from steady to engagement, from engagement, so and so forth, so on. So you see this kind of like movement in this phase is exactly that. You're going from the celebration, I say, okay, we are giving this a try. So in this category, I'm exploring how well you guys are going to do. So when I do all of these categories, then I sort of like look at the intricacies and how this works. So if category, which is supposed to be the glue, is just not forming the glue, no matter how much you want, you're going to fall apart. You can still stick together, hold on to each other like for dear life. It's not going to work out. And it's good to know. So guys, hopefully this is kind of more understanding the categories. Check it on my website as well if you want to see this video again. I'm going to post just a short clip there, but also explanation of each card is over there. And if you want to order this X spread, then you're getting energies that are just between the two of you, not these generic energies that I am actually explaining on my site. The difference is like here there are many people, and so basically some people are cross watchers and they bring their energy. So sure, it can give you some general opinion and you might see it here. Most of the time people do, but to get really the energy between 2 or 3 people, please contact me for a private reading. The prices are on my site, so visit me there at www.cattarot.ca. Thanks, love you. And guys, if you want your spread that is still on the special, it is $45. So please contact me. My information is in the description on the site, or go on my website www.cattarot.ca. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's see if your partner is coming back to you. Okay, what I also did, I improved on that spread and I took these cards from my previous deck, and I couldn't find the Knight of Wands, or somebody just decided that they need it badly. So Knight of Wands is working. We can actually have King of Wands here as well, but almost to some extent Knight of Wands feels good as well, because you want to be chased and be a chasee, so it kind of works. So let's see, Sagittarius, month of May. Let's see what's happening with the exes and with the on and off relationships. In this spread you can also feel and pick up on your partner as well, to see what they think, how they think. Okay, Sagittarius, exes. And if you haven't checked, check my bi-weeklies. They just got out a few days ago. And guys, please subscribe, join, like. I really want to interact more with you, because it's going to be so much easier to deliver you even greater readings. And I really appreciate all of you who are following me. Okay, Saggies. Saggies. Okay, so now you have the explanation. For those of you who didn't listen, go back and check it out. Let's see the toolbox. What is in here? Whoa, Judgment. So you see, this is the card that I had over there. And I have to tell you, the deck they did before was like, whoa, so much superior to this one. So, Judgment reversed. So, Sagittarius is make it or break it time. Temperance. What needs to be glued over here? Yeah, it was an issue making a decision, or decision was the issue. How are you going to be seen? Like, guys, this is the significator. That can be you, that can be them, or vice versa. These two are significators, so you will figure out which one is who, right? So I'm generally thinking that probably would be you, Sagittarius. How basically you are being seen. You're being seen as you're not moving forward. You are not interested in building something anymore. You kind of like, you have your sights on something else, and maybe you even render a bad judgment. Kind of, it's not working. So let's see the communication here. Somebody feels there are lots of options in life. Kind of, this is kind of this luxury energy. I don't know what I want. Do I want this? Do I want that? So if you have communication with your ex, it can be a little bit unnerving and you would not know where you stand. Whoa, your partner has the, basically sees himself or herself as the devil. That means your partner is holding on to you, not willing to let go sexually. That indicates a really, really negative energy. So you might have somebody who are dealing with, so your problem could be like not to get your ex back, but get rid of your ex over here. Because this is like a very intrusive energy. It's an energy where you really feel stuck with this person and kind of connected. It can also indicate sexual relationship as well. Judgment. Judgment is justice reversed. If you guys are divorcing, you have a judgment and justice, that means the divorce is in store. And this devil means that maybe somebody is trying to dig something under your feet, because here you had judgment as well. So judgment and justice, and also it's doubled with. So this is judgment reversed in the toolbox where it's supposed to be category that does work. So okay, let's see reunion quality of this relationship / reunion. The High Priestess. So somebody is turning inside. Somebody's trying to find the answer. Somebody's trying to keep composure. Somebody's trying to kind of like not allow that things to just really go penetrate deep. Kind of saying, you know what, I'm going to bounce back. But it's still energy that doesn't have, it is a 2 energy, which means it's a still decision, but it is a decision which you still don't know where to go or how to go. So you have 2 2s, and then you have judgment, which is 20, which is also 2. So lots of kind of energies, sort of like choices are there. You know that there are choices, but it looks like that maybe the choice that you want is not available, and maybe this is you, Sagittarius, over here, because usually that Knight of Wands represents Sagittarius, that you feel this like really carnal energy. Maybe there is already somebody else on the horizon, and maybe this is your partner. In that case, that partner is not moving forward in the first week for sure. So let's see the second week. In Magician category, you have the Magician reversed. So somebody is being a trickster. Somebody is not manifesting something, or somebody doesn't want to manifest something. So in the toolbox, it's like almost like you have roaches. So you have a judgment, make it or break it time. It almost looks like that somebody's here is using manipulation and trickster. You know, people didn't like me using that analogy of a used car salesman, so I'll stop. You know who else this can be? A rock star that went really, really bad. You know, like in drugs, booze, rock and roll, and now you think, oh, all these chicks are after you, they really love you, and then you wake up So this is the energy where you can manipulate, and this is combined with this devil energy. So yeah, there is a situation here that is very unnerving. It could be really legal situation for some of you. Okay, let's see what needs to be glued. Passion. So yeah, this is probably deciding where to go, if to be passionate, and again, passion is kind of lacking in that union. How you're being seen. Well, sad. You're being seen as sad, as somebody who was still hoping, but kind of like feels at this stage that the whole hopes are gone. This also can also mean that sometimes is the sadness over sadness, sort of like you fell into the hole, and it's kind of hard to lift yourself up, and you just can spend lots of days being sad and not recovering, right? Communications. Yeah, again, this is a breakup kind of card. If there is a communication, it's going to be very abrupt, very harsh. See, this is like a really, really fast moving knight. Knights are not staying around. Knights are just to deliver a message or to fight. And this is definitely argumentative energy. It's definitely somebody who will try to manipulate this conversation, and somehow, you see, it's going away from you. Somebody who is going to try to kind of like make it their way. So you see, somebody doesn't want to be single, and this is normal here with the devil card. I'm not surprised at all with this card. So this is kind of like, obviously there is a breakup that happened here, and you know, it is attraction with somebody here. And so I don't understand, you want to break up, but you kind of don't want to be single. Which way is it? And here was this decision as well. We had these twos. So this could be two people. We will see if there are two people really included here. Karmically, yeah, you see this justice. Somebody's establishing new life, new boundaries, new friends. Reunion quality. There you have Knight of Wands and Knight of Wands. This is the devil energy again. There definitely is the sexual attraction. Somebody definitely would not kick you out of bed if that's what you want. So let's go in the third week. Well, you have Wheel of Fortune. Thank God, the first nice card after time is up and be bad. So finally you have a stroke of luck in the week 3. And it actually means that you can also influence things, and then if you know, you wonder back and forth how it goes, it could also mean that certain things can turn into your favor as well, but especially if something has been manipulated, and maybe the things will come to the surface. So what needs to be fixed? Communication needs to be fixed. Let's see how you're being seen, or your partner. Yeah, you see, seen as like somebody who really suffered, backstabbed. It's kind of like I am dead. Like these two cards are really bad, but they're talking about different kind of things. So this is talking about feeling in your heart, right? Like, I mean, you're neither like water nor air sign. You are like passion. So it's like a flame that burns. The moment when you stop this flame, the life of that flame stops, and you live to burn. You kind of charge forward. You have that energy. This is your forte. These two things are not your forte. You're kind of closer to this because that's the opposite energy to yours. But you kind of feeling this, it's like not knowing how to deal with this. It is like, ugh, it pains me in my heart, and why is this hurting, and I want this to go away, but it's not going to go away. It's a kind of very uncomfortable feeling. But this can be even worse, and this is kind of usually the domain of air signs, that kind of that they torture themselves in their head. Oh my God, this is what happened, and I can't believe this happened, and you feel kind of devastated, right? Kind of like it's almost a self-torture. Good thing is, like, silver lining, it's a number 10, so it's end. It can only go up. The day is going to kind of like come So communication that week, yeah, this is talking about the smeared reputation. The family unit is falling apart. If you're divorcing, this is the month that it's going to be definite end, possibly even signing the legal papers after this Mercury retrograde. Maybe somebody attempted last month, but this month it's enough. How does he see himself? Oh, poor partner feels being left out in the cold. Why is that? Let's see the justice. The judgment, pardon me. It's talking about the emotional fulfillment. This is really, really bizarre, giving the other cards. This can also mean it's a good thing that this is happening. This can mean that it happened for the best. I think that's what it means, because this is a glorifying beginning. So it's end of one phase, because it's a 10. It's a beginning of the new one, which is kind of crowned with good emotion. So I guess, look, going from here to here, obviously it's a big difference. So I think, can you have 3 10s? Not 2, but 3. Actually, sorry, you have 4. You have Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, some huge change, like huge change is going to happen in a week 3. So you're talking like May, let's say 18th on, May 21st on. Huge. And it's going to be range, and it could be just simply signing off divorce decree, cleaning out your stuff, or cleaning this person out of your heart and out of your mind, finally finishing with these things. It's over. You finally, those energies, they don't have that hold on you, or you kind of manage to move on. You maybe manage to raise your vibration, and vibration has to be higher in order for you to move on. Otherwise you're kind of feeling that stagnant energy that you're feeling here in the week 1 and 2. Week 1 is like kind of energy, but week 2 is going down. Yeah, somebody wants to come back. Somebody wants to come back. This is a card of willing to come back in spite of knowing it's not working. So this is like almost like you want to go back to this. You see? This is like going and traveling forward, moving on. Somebody is not moving on. Somebody still feels backstabbed and not moving on. Well, if it's a legal separation, I can just imagine this is not going to happen overnight. But both partners are feeling a little bit displaced over here, you know, like one is feeling backstabbed and one is feeling being left out in the cold over this thing, which is usually with the breakups. Like no matter who initiates the breakup, both partners feel really badly about that. And let's see the last week. Wow, we have another thing in your box is like, that's again the turmoil, anxieties, rehashing the things in your own head, going to bed, waking up, thinking about this person, realizing he or she's not there. Not a great thing to have in your toolbox. Well, what needs to be glued is Tower, and all the turbulence has to stop. How is you being seen? Well, has two meanings. Has two meanings of indulgence, boredom, but it also has a meaning of that this person feels that you took your partner for granted. Communication, whoa, the third party is broken-hearted. Again, you have this sword energy. Him, yeah, he is looking forward to that divorce, but it's also painful for him or her, for your partner. See, karmically saying, okay, the good news is like these truths are coming out, and truths have to come out in order for closure to be reached. Like when people are playing these games, which is obviously you have this magician here and it's play the games, and somebody played that roulette of I'm not telling you, and you see this is what was happening. Well, make it or break it. Somebody was trying to do it, and then somebody tried to manipulate. To some extent this manipulation was successful, and to the other extent it made somebody really unhappy, right? because what needed to be glued is communication and passion, moving together, and it didn't. It just like collapsed with the Tower. And that's why this whole situation being so dysfunctional. And this comes back, kind of confession. This kind of indicates maybe some secrets being kind of revealed. And this also indicates it. So maybe some kind of stuff will be filtered if maybe there is a final say and say, okay, just tell me what's going on. And yeah, there is a Queen of Cups, so reversed. So this is kind of being overly emotional, losing it, indulgence, manipulation, whining, the Moon and the Queen of Cups and the Hierophant, and this. I'm really sorry to say, Saggies, this is a breakup, especially if you are involved with Scorpio. That's not going to be fun. But Queen of Cups really indicates somebody overly emotional, and we all are overly emotional when we come to love relationships. It's very hard to let somebody go because there's so many things merged. There are friends, there are lovers. We kind of had visions and dreams. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius, this is not going to be easy month. But again, this is a general reading. Your personal reading might be different. So if you wish your personal reading, please contact me. Thank you very much for listening to me. Hope to hear from you. Love you.